are welcome to Anchor Network, where you get first-hand information about things happening around you. And I appreciate every one of you who are subscribed to this channel. And if you have not subscribed, please press the red button and make sure you press the bell icon, because if you don't press the bell icon, you will not be notified anytime we post news, because we want you to get the news as soon as they come, as fast as they come. So press the bell icon so that you'll be notified anytime. The news we have for you now, you'll be glad that you are aware of it. Stay tuned. Fashola Amechi, Bala Usman, Sirika to make list. Saturday Vanguard has reliably gathered that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-rufai, and the National Chairman of All Progressives Congress (APC), Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, are currently playing key roles in the selection of ministerial nominees to ensure that competent party members are appointed. It was gathered that the three strong men have the ears of President Muhammadu Buhari in his determination to appoint people who will truly deliver in their respective portfolios. But he, the president, is doing that separately and not as a team. So each of them may not know what the other is suggesting, a source close to the presidency said. Multiple sources told Saturday Vanguard that the president was not only concentrating on competent party members but also on credible people in the private sector who would drive the implementation of pro-people policies to be formulated. One of the sources said that the trial has identified some party members among are the Managing Director of Nigerian Ports Authority, Hadiza Bala Usman, immediate past Minister of Transport, Mr. Rotimi Amechi, former Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, ex-Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, among others. The source said President Muhammadu Buhari is considering merits this time because he wants results from his ministers. That was why he is listening to the Vice President, APC Party Chairman, and Governor Nasir El-rufai to assist in choosing competent hands among party members and from the private sector. He does not want noisemakers but those who can do the job. The Managing Director of MPA, Hadiza Bala Usman, and Rotimi Amechi may make the list because they possess the qualities needed. Another person is Fashola. Saturday Vanguard had reported that unlike the usual practice of placing party and other considerations above merit in the appointment of ministers, President Buhari's cabinet member could emerge strictly on competence. The development was informed by the perception of underperformance by most of the immediate past ministers, especially heads of key ministries, and infighting among junior and senior ministers, which characterized the activities of the ministers. This resulted in the absence of synergy that could have emanated from interministerial interface. The situation informed sustained calls from the public for rejigging of the cabinet and even outright sack of some ministers. Such calls were not headed by Buhari, who only witnessed the resignation of 5 ministers and the death of one. The Minister of State of Foreign Affairs, Khadija Abba Ibrahim, had resigned on February 16, 2019 to run for an elective office in Damaturu, Tamuwa, Gujba, Gulani Federal Constituency of Yobe State. Alhaji Ibrahim Jubril also resigned his appointment as Minister of State for Environment following his declaration as an emir. Hajiya Amina Mohammed on February 24, 2017 resigned as Minister of Environment following her appointment at the United Nations as Deputy Secretary General. The incumbent governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, also resigned on May 30, 2018 to contest for the governorship election position in his state. Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Senator Aisha Hassan, also known as Mama Taraba, resigned from the cabinet and from the APC, hinging her resignation on her disqualification in the screening for the 2019 Taraba State governorship election by the party's National Working Committee. In September 2018, Mrs. Kemi Adeosun resigned as the Minister of Finance as a result of allegations that she falsified her National Youth Service Corps (NYC) exemption certificate. In March 2016, Minister of State for Labour and Productivity, Mr. James Ocholi, SAN, died in a road crash that occurred at kilometer 57 along Kaduna-Abuja Highway. Some ministers gave a bad face to the president's anti-corruption fight, but they survived. They were ministers who were even so petty that they applied and collected escrows of ADs for trips the ADs never made. There were some who collected full escrows and paid their aides half or even less. One aide even went public with corrupt activities in his ministry. There were also some the Economic and Financial Crime Commission (EFCC) simply failed to investigate allegations brought against them. They all survived a Buhari administration that allowed the ministers so much freedom and didn't do enough to monitor them. All that we gathered may change in this second coming they have tagged the next level, even as some ministers may be retained while some may be reassigned to other ministries. People complained in this last regime, their 4 years, that a lot of those ministers were not really functioning well, that most of them didn't even qualify the position they were holding, that how come they were appointed in the first place, because it took the president 6 months to appoint his minister. And at the end of the day, and when they were brought to limelight, everybody was disappointed that so it took 6 months for the president to appoint all these ministers, and we thought maybe they are going to be technocrats, people that of high profile, people that that have held one position or the other and have really done well. So everybody was expecting, but it was a big disappointment. But as time went on, people were like, okay, since you've made this mistake, you just have to rejig your cabinet. You just have to change some people. You just have to change some ministers. And the president paid deaf ear to everyone, to everybody. He didn't do anything. And most of them were part of the people that really damaged or dented his image and his fight against corruption. Like, we heard that the president doesn't listen to anybody, he doesn't read newspaper, he doesn't do anything, he just does what he wants to do. But by so doing, it really affected his administration. Since the election was won, since February, everybody thinks that the ministers would have been ready, but now from what we've heard, it's like they are just trying to appoint people, they are just trying to touchlight a lot of places to see the right people that will be brought in or that will be appointed as ministers. That's why we think that this government is not really too serious, and most of the time it depends on the president, because he said it takes his time to do things, and most of the time he's slow in doing things, does not really bring results at the end of the day. Because when you take your time to do things, it is expected of you that you are going to come out with the best option. It's particular with this government, it is particular with this president, that most of his decisions are not really on point. But with the people they've mentioned, the vice president, the APC chairman, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole, and El-rufai, if those three people can come together, and if you can listen to them, I think they will be able to make good ministers this time around. Not only to rely on their party people, but those that are really competent. Even if you are going to select people or you are going to make ministers from your party, they just have to be people of competence, people of integrity, people who know what they are doing, people that are intelligent, people that are up and doing. It will be better, they select such people, not because of sentiment, or they just want to pay them back because of how they supported them during the election. That is just my opinion. For those who will make the list, it's been insinuated that Fashola and Amechi could make that list. Like for Amechi, I can really speak for Amechi because he's in charge of, or he was in charge of the transportation system. And when we look at the railway aspect of it, he really tried. We could see the evidence on ground. He really tried in that aspect, and it really boosted the regime last term. And people could really make references to that railway system. But when it comes to Fashola, I know Fashola was in charge of 3 ministries. Maybe, those ministries were really too cumbersome. The whole thing was really too cumbersome. So you could not really feel the effect. Fashola, that we all know when he was a governor, really did excellently well. So I just believe that because of those 3 ministries that he was handling, he couldn't really do much. He couldn't really stand out. So, gurus in the house, you'll be able to tell us if really he did well. You could really pinpoint the areas at which he really did well that people really commend. But unlike Amechi tried, and possibly he might make the list. Fashola might make the list too. Maybe this time around they have to reduce the ministries they are going to give to him. So that's just my own opinion. So you guys in the house, I would like you guys to talk more on these appointments that will be made by this regime. We would like you to leave your comment below in the comment section, and let's rub minds together as usual. Thank you very much. I quite appreciate every one of you that have been commenting both positively and negatively. You guys are just the best. Thank you very much. Bye.